Hi everyone, I'm Cassidy Harris, Public Relations Manager, and for today's episode of A to Z and CC, we're spending time with the licensing department, learning more about how you can start a business in Columbia County, apply for an alcohol license, massage operator's license, or just learn more about owning a business here in Columbia County. Let's go learn more. Joining me today is our licensing manager, Erin Hall, and we want to talk to you about what to know if you're starting a business in Columbia County, applying for an alcohol license, a massage operator's license, and any other information that you need for starting a business. So Erin, if you would, talk to me about the different type of licenses that your office deals with.
Sure. The most common type that we have that every business has to have to operate in Columbia County is actually a business license, which a lot of people also refer to as your occupational tax, because you pay the occupational tax as part of the business license process. And so you have those whether you are a commercial business operating in a commercial or professional zoning out of what we typically refer to as a brick and mortar, or you would need it if you're a home-based or mobile business, so you don't have a storefront or an office where people report to, but you go to your customers. Most people think of those your landscapers, your electricians, building community, people such as that. They renew every year. We send renewals out for business license by December 15th. We try to get them a little earlier if we can. They are due without penalty by January 31st. So typically from beginning of December till middle of February is our busiest season for business license renewals.
So what about mobile food trucks, lemonade stands, things of that nature? Do you need business licenses for those?
Absolutely. For a mobile food truck, especially for events we have such as Food Truck Friday, for the people who are coming out participating in the Evans Market, they all have a business license from us. They also have health department approval for that food, or Department of Agriculture, depending on the type of food they're selling. Lemonade stands, if it's a child, someone 18 or younger, just your neighborhood kid, out selling lemonade at his driveway or her driveway, they absolutely do not need a business license.
But kind of leading off of Food Truck Friday and the Evans Market, that leads to temporary licenses that you deal with.
Yes. So we issue temporary alcoholic beverage permits for functions that will serve alcohol just at one specific location for one specific event. We have those most typically at our county events. We'll also have them for some of our wedding venues, anything that someone might have. We've had people, rent Evans Town Center Park for a concert or an event that we're having. So if you are selling or serving alcohol at a specific location, you do have to have a temporary event permit for that.
So if you're a restaurant, you have to have a business license, but if you plan on selling alcohol, you also have to have a separate alcohol license.
You do, and that's a more intensive application process. You're going through a background check, making sure that you have no criminal history that would prevent you from having an alcohol license. There's actually a yellow placard that's put outside of your business so that the public will know you're applying. That has to be there for 30 days, as well as 3 advertisements in the Augusta Chronicle. And then those are actually voted on by the Board of Commissioners. So at a business license level, our staff is able to issue those if you meet all the regulations. But the alcohol licenses are actually voted on by the Board of Commissioners. So that process usually takes about 45 to 60 days.
What about excise tax? Your office oversees that as well.
We do. So our restaurants in Columbia County who serve distilled spirits pay a 3% excise tax monthly on the distilled spirits that they sell. And so we collect those monthly from our local restaurants who are able to sell distilled spirits.
So what are some of the common questions that you see that you get from people wanting to start a business? What should they know? Anything outside of applying for a business license that Columbia County?
So the most common question we receive, if it's a commercial business in a commercial location, usually they're checking their zoning, and that's something that we encourage everyone, if you can do it before you sign a lease, to check in with us, and we can make sure that you have the proper zoning for the business you want to operate, because there are some business activities that are only allowed in certain zoning areas. We can also have our water utility environmental compliance, just kind of do a cursory glance if you're looking at a specific property, to make sure that the water system can handle whatever business you may have. Some of them are water intensive, such as our beauty salons and our car washes and nail salons.
But so with that, you're looking at that certain type of space and what's required zoning-wise. That kind of leads us into the massage operator's license.
Yes.
How do you help with those?
So the massage operator's licenses, they all are required to have a conditional use to allow massage on the property first, and then once they've obtained that, they can apply for a massage operator's license with us. And some of our requirements for that are you actually have to be a licensed massage therapist through the state of Georgia. You have to live within 50 miles of the location in Columbia County where you're going to perform massage. And so you go before the Planning Commission and they approve massage operators licenses on every location.
And I know we've had a couple of key events, so it might be hard to compare numbers over the years, but on average, do you have any data or stats that are interesting?
I do. So outside of our large events of COVID and Hurricane Helene, we have about 600 roughly new businesses that apply for a business license every year in Columbia County. I think we do a great job with our collection of the occupational tax. We're actually at a 96% collection rate right now. And our temporary event permits for alcohol events are increasing as our county is having more functions and bringing more to our community. That means those are increasing by about 10% every year.
If you would just speak to us about your team, you and kind of the workload that y'all share and how y'all work well together. And
Sure. So Leah Claybrook is our customer service representative. She is typically the face everyone sees and the voice you hear first. She's directly in our main office, and she does most of the intake of every business license application and massage operator's license application. She does most of the collection of the excise tax. I tend to work a little bit more with the alcohol licenses or the people who come to us with a new business idea that maybe doesn't exactly fit the mold that we have now, and so we can work with them and see how we might be able to help them start that process. And then we also work closely, we physically are with the permitting department. We share space, so all of the staff in the permitting department can help us during our busy times, during renewals and things like that. They can intake the collections of funds and help with applications and help us provide notary services because 2 of our documents have to be notarized. And so they are so helpful with us and help us get us through those really busy times.
if you need to contact Erin or Leah, they are in Building A on the main government complex. But I want to say thank you for all that you do for the business owners, for everyone that's interested in having an event, walking them through. We appreciate your hard work and leadership. And until next time, we'll see you then.